Salutations! Welcome to another exciting episode of Articulation Radio. I am your hostess, the eternally grateful Goddess Sage. Although we normally kick off each episode of Articulation Radio by taking a glance at the news headlines, on today, we are going to leave that up to you. So head on over to EliteValuesNews.com right now and see what headlines you see. And as you know, news constantly changes because things are always happening. And so the headlines at Elite Values News always change constantly. So feel free to check it out hour on the hour.
Looking to get the latest news? Visit Elite Values. EliteValuesNews.com has all the latest news and information. Check out the headlines daily. EliteValuesNews.com for all of your latest news.
Do you want to be published? Are you looking for a high-quality, low-cost way to be published with a fast turnaround? Visit bepublished.org to publish today. www.bepublished.org. bepublished.org. Publish today. Books, movies, and music.
Listeners, we love you. We hear you. And I am definitely happy to be here with you again today on this episode of Articulation Radio, where you will not only hear wonderful music from independent artists from around the world, you will also get the chance to hear me talk to a move maker, a doer, and I'm not going to tell you with whom I'll be speaking or about what we'll be discussing, but stay tuned. ArtistReview.com. All artists need a platform. The Artist Review makes sure you have the one you need to put your work in front of your fans. ArtistReview.com. Artist, REVUE.com.
Until you've learned the meaning of the blues. no, no.
You have a product, let them help you increase sales. You have a video, let them help you make it go viral. PeopleWarmers.com. PeopleWarmers.com.
PeopleWarmer.com. Book your travel today. PeopleWarmer.com for wherever you want to stay. PeopleWarmer.com, wherever you want to play. PeopleWarmer.com. Go see a concert today. PeopleWarmer.com. Book everything you need. PeopleWarmer.com. Go ahead. Please, please.
That song you just heard was You Don't Know What Love Is by yours truly, Goddess Sage, featuring Myra Mills on piano. And prior to that, we kicked off today's episode of Articulation Radio with The Stylish Traveler 3 by Martin Langstrom. Now, today's episode is titled Saturday Sounds to Savor because I will be talking to Miss Trish Discord of Trish Discord and the Defiant. And people, they have a performance on Saturday. That's why we're focused on Saturday, even though today is Thursday or whatever day you're listening to it. We're focused on Saturday because, of course, at One Eye Jack's, Bethpage, New York, there will be a performance at 8 p.m. where you will be able to see live Trish Discord and the Defiant, and I will be talking to Trish soon, so I'm going to play a song for you. As a matter of fact, up next, going to play Call Me by Mo Stax. And then I will, after that, bring on Trish. And then after that, I will play her song, Another Girl, before bringing on Getting Hot in Here 3 by Anders Bothen. Hang tight.
If you're looking for ghost writers, grant writers, technical writers, any kind of writers, go to the Writers Consortium. Their website is maryjefferson.us, MaryJefferson.us.
Phone lines are open right now at Articulation Radio. Call 312-899-6237. That's 312-899-6237.
Have you always wanted to start a business but can't seem to get it off the ground? Call 972-880-8316 for your free initial consultation with a representative from The Conglomerate, or visit theconglomerate.work today to book your consultation in person. Theconglomerate.work, TheConglomerate.work. listening to Articulation Radio. Head on over to articulationmedia.club and let us know your thoughts. Want to buy stocks, jewels, real estate, or other high-end items? Would you love to be able to contribute to charitable initiatives but cannot do these things with the money you currently have? Join Regal City Investment and Social Club, where you can pool money each month with other investors to make major purchases, give to the needy, and possibly turn a profit. www.regalcity.xyz. Become a Regal citizen today by joining Regal City Investment and Social Club. regalcity.xyz.
Articulation Radio is extremely pleased to have on the line with us today the magnetic performer, Miss Trish Discord. Trish, do we have you here on this line?
Hi. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Very good, very good. And now, Trish, tell us real quick, because, of course, we're excited to have you here because you have a big performance coming up, you and your band, on this Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Tell us a little bit about that from the door.
Okay, yeah. It's this Saturday. The doors open at 7 p.m. and I go on 8 p.m. It's on Long Island in Bethpage. It's at One Eye Jack's. The address is 380 North Wantage Avenue, and it's part of the Munoz Stock, which kind of tries to be a bit like Warped Tour, I guess you could say, and they have festivals quite often. But it's going to be me performing some of my original songs for one of the first few times and doing some covers. I'm excited for it.
And tell me about some of the covers that you'll be doing.
So we're going to be doing Simmer by Hayley Williams, because that's a song that just came out, and I'm really inspired by her. And so we're going to work on that. I have my backing vocalist, who's also the keyboardist, helping me with some of her vocals there. And I have the Don't Dream It's Over song that we're going to be doing. We just added that one to the list, so we think it's going to be really good. And also a last song, Saw You in a Dream by the Japanese House. That one has a lot of different guitar effects, and we're going to be having backing vocals on that one as well.
Oh, beautiful. And now you also said that you're going to be performing some of your original music, which, as we know, for those of us who are already familiar with Trish Discord and, of course, her gorgeous, gorgeous backup people, tell what are, I would say, because, of course, we already know, for those who already love you, already follow you, that's what they're coming to see, and that's what they're coming to hear, is that original music that they already love. But what particular songs, and I know it's kind of hard, whenever you ask anybody to pick which of their babies they like the most, but so the way I'll put it is this: for the band, which particular original songs of you all are you all especially looking forward to performing on Saturday?
I would say the song Another Girl, because it's I guess the most, I think it's the one that's most memorable, and we perform it quite a lot, and we try to do it at least once per show, and I think that will be the most memorable. It's an interesting song. It's every song on this album is about a different mental disorder, and that song in particular is about bipolar disorder, so it has a lot of different factors in it, and I think it'll be interesting to hear for people.
Beautiful. And what's some of the of all of the different places that you've performed at over the years, and the different types of music that you've performed, and the various messages that you've put out, what is there that it seems that people keep coming back to you or commenting to you about the most? What is that thing to where whenever you go somewhere, people are always bringing up this particular performance or particular song?
I would say it's almost like, maybe it's not a particular performance or song, but a certain feeling that people get. People have told me that I talk about unique topics that aren't often sung about. So I think that's the main theme I seem to be getting from people, that it's, I guess, songs that aren't the most typical, but still enjoyable. So I think that's, I guess, what I get mostly, but I generally have a lot of people happy about the fact that my style is usually, like, sticking the same, like, alternative, with a bit of grunge feel. But it seems like the messages in each of the songs still stay a bit unique, which is what I'm aiming for anyway.
Yeah, and I think that even from what I've heard from people, that is what they expect from Trish Discord and the Defiant. They don't expect to hear the regular stuff, even if it does, I would say fall under some of those same general categories. But no, there's a certain standard, and they do expect for you to address things that other people tend to shy away from. And now let's talk about that for a minute, because I know that there are some listeners that are on that are like, hey, I've heard her music, and, I love the courage that they display. I love the way that they empower us, and then there are other people who are like, I haven't heard it, but I hear that she mentions that she addresses certain things, including mental illness and struggles and stigma, things like that. But, hey, I'm not sure that it's going to really cover it at the depth of what I've gone through. And say, for instance, that person is like, I haven't heard anything that really addresses what I've gone through. What would you say to encourage that person who feels like no one can quite address what it is that they've gone through? What would you say to them to encourage them to maybe step out there and maybe, whether it's them writing a poem or writing a book or even creating a song, what would you say to help them kind of see how, okay, if they think no one is putting out this message, that maybe they should?
Yeah, I would say that, it is a kind of a rare message. I've only heard a handful of bands do it. 21 Pilots, for example, they cover schizophrenia a little bit, but I think that's the only mental disorder they do cover. And actually, I do have a song on schizophrenia. But I guess what I would say to people who think that, they shouldn't write about or people aren't interested is that I think there's a lot of people that feel that way. And because there are people that, feel that way and don't take the initiative, then that we're missing out on a lot of great music that can be heard. And I think that, it might be something that people don't think is worth talking about, but I think the opposite. I think that if people are going to, experience this, and there's a big phenomena of people experiencing this, then why is it not talked about? And I think that it should be addressed more and the perspective of these people. And what I try to cover in the album is sort of a bit of, what each mental illness, like the symptoms are, and try to sort of, not, as I say, show, don't tell, so not really explicitly say it, but sort of show some of the problems that some of these people with mental disorders have, but also try to also show the reaction of society and how they treat a lot of these people with the disorder. So I would say, it might not be the most common thing that people sing about and write about, but it definitely isn't, not worth it. I think it's definitely something that should be sung about and written about a lot more.
Yes, I agree. And for people who say they, have an interest, but they are afraid or feel like, hey, my voice isn't good enough for me to sing, or, I don't know how to play the guitar well enough. I just took only one lesson, or I can only play by ear. What would you say to encourage people who want to do things, even if it's not necessarily just performing music, people who want to do things but just feel like they're too afraid to try to do those things? What would you say to encourage them to kind of shake off that fear and still get involved?
I would say, everything is baby steps. So if you don't take that first shot, how are you going to go from, what you are now to like the next Billy Joel at Madison Square Garden? Billy Joel didn't just start at Madison Square Garden the first show, So I would say if you think that, you by yourself cannot do it, there's always other musicians out there that you can partner with that can help you. I have a producer that helps me with some of the backing parts of my songs. But if you really, think that it's something that you alone have to do and that's your mission, then I would say practice makes perfect, as they always say. And just keep practicing, keep trying to perfect your message and work on it. And then eventually when you think it's presentable and you're happy with it, then go out and just don't care what other people think. Just present what you think is right.
Yes, and that's the key, people. I hope that you all picked up on what she just said, because that is key. Follow your own spirit, your own heart. Walk your own path. Make sure that you are staying true to you and doing what you know is right for you and not trying to follow other people, because people, that will make anything that we do more difficult, even making accepting ourselves the way we are more difficult when we're constantly comparing ourselves to other people or trying to fit in or be accepted according to another person's standard. set your own standard for your life and accept whatever it is that you've been given for you and move forward with that, and within that willingness of working with yourself to give yourself the time to perfect whatever it is that needs to be perfected and to hone whatever particular skills. And let me ask you real quick, too, Trish, how did you and the Defiance get together? How were you able to pull together your band? Because I know there are some people listening who probably are like, I know I need a group, or what it is I want to do, I know I need, but how do I find these people, or how do I even ask my friends and family to step up to help me with my business or to help me form this group? Tell us about how you and the Defiance came together.
Okay, so yeah, I met some people just that I had known already that were musicians, and then the rest of the bands that I needed, I tried a few different methods. I either tried in my own network and asked around, like, do you know any bassists or synth players or whatever it was I was looking for at the time? And I also did try Facebook groups, believe it or not, because they have a lot of musicians that are on there that are trying to connect, trying to find bands. So I did a combination of trying to reach within my own network and then trying to go on the Facebook groups and just audition a bunch of different people, and it seems to have worked. So far I have my synth player and my guitar player from there, and they are great people. It seems that they are really looking to get in a band and join something and be part of something, and that's what I was really looking for, not only playing the music and having the ability, but also a group where someone is really supporting you and likes what you have, because there's been times where I've worked with other musicians and, it might be great that you found that drummer or that bass player and you finally can complete your band, but then they aren't showing that passion or really that, initiative that you need to have in the band player. So I think it's important to make sure that you find people that are really interested in your music, not just that can play the music.
Yes. And tell them again where you're going to be performing on Saturday for the people who are going to be coming out.
Yes, it's at One Eye Jack's in Bethpage on Long Island, and the address is 380 North Wonton Avenue. And you can buy the tickets at the door. They're $10 each, and it's me with a few other bands. So I think it will be a great show. And it's at 8 p.m. I go on. Sorry.
And no, you're good. And now for people who are not able to get to Long Island, what are some of your other upcoming performances?
For right now, that's what we have booked. We're trying to get maybe one in Philly with the company I work with now, Mad Pop. That is in progress. But for right now, it's this performance. We're trying to do something once a month.
Oh, beautiful. And I know that you have a website that people can also go to stay abreast of what you all have going on. What is that website?
Yes, it's madpop.com, mad with 2 Ds, and /Trish Discord. And you can get my information there. I also have an Instagram and a Facebook, and the Instagram is Trish Discord, and the Facebook is Trish Discord and the Defiant, and you can check up on me there and see upcoming concerts as well. And I also do play in New York City as well besides Long Island.
And you do have a YouTube channel, right?
Yes, I'm just started to post to there, and that as well is going to be the same link, Trish Discord and the Defiant.
Very good. And, of course, people, you have to head on over to that Mad Pop website, with that /Trish Discord to head straight to her page. And tell us a little bit about Mad Pop.
So I actually just started a few weeks ago being part of their work, and they are sort of like a PR agency that helps me, keep my life together with booking all these shows and getting the word out there. They've been really good and supportive on that. I think it's something that I definitely needed to work on and needed to, really understand how to talk to my audience. So they've been a great supportive agency and helping me with, either whether it be booking a show eventually or getting the word out there PR-wise. They've been a great supportive source and something that, is really helpful as a sounding board when you aren't sure what you should do with things like that.
And now some of your fans are like, hey, we're down with Trish Discord and the Defiant, but we want some merch, So do you guys have some merch coming up for them?
Not at the moment, but we do have some in mind. When the album comes out, that's when everything's going to come out in its mode. I have some people that I'm working with that are pretty big artists on Instagram, and I'm going to be having them help me with my album design. I have one that's pretty big. Her name is Manifest Just on Instagram, and she's helping to do my album cover. and as well as the album cover, I'm having a few other of the artists make a sort of lyric book that they can purchase, so you can get like a digital copy, or you can get, printed real album and have the lyric book, and then it'll be their artwork in the background with my lyrics on top. Because I always think it's great to collaborate with other artists.
That's gonna be so lovely.
Yeah, so you can get that lyric book, and then eventually we're gonna have T-shirts, pins, stickers, you name it. It's just at the moment we just want to wait for the album release.
Yes. So people, you see, I asked your questions, and as you know, for those of you who don't already know, and I know I should have long plugged this, but I was too busy trying to get more info. Of course, for those of you who are just tuning in, you are listening to ARTiculation Radio. I'm your hostess, Goddess Sage, and I am on the line. We are interviewing Miss Trish Discord of Trish Discord and the Defiant. They have an upcoming performance here in Long Island on Saturday, and so, of course, she's been giving us the information about that. And so for those of you who are like, okay, how is she asking these questions about from Trish's fans? So for those of you who ever want to send over questions, and even if you want to get some in before we let Trish go to articulationmedia.club. And you'll, of course, be able to contact us via that contact page. Go ahead and fill out the form and drop us your questions, and then I can be sure to squeeze it in before we get her off the line. We do have her here for a few more moments, so we definitely want to pick her brain and get as much as possible. So, of course, now, Trish just is telling us that she and the band are going to have their CD to drop here pretty soon over the next few months, and that's when it'll be after that for those of you who are interested in merch, that's when you can get that. But that, of course, Saturday when you show up there in Long Island for the performance, they will, of course, have other things for you to consider. And so I'm guessing now, will you be selling like singles or anything that they can kind of grab from you and take home that will be available for them to purchase on Saturday at the performance?
Yeah, we'll probably have like a few guitar picks and stickers, just a few basic things. We want to really go crazy with the merch once the album's out, but we have a few things for right now.
Very good. And so now, people, you already know, head on over to the YouTube channel. You can also check out Trish Discord on Twitter, Trish Discord and the Defiant. You can check them out not only on YouTube, but you can also check them out on Twitter. They are on Facebook as well as Instagram. And, of course, you already know you can head on over to that Mad Pop website, and you'll be able to find out more information about upcoming events that they have going on, as well as, of course, as you heard her mention, she dropped a lot of helpful information for those of you who are aspiring musicians or even people who aspire to do things outside of the arts. Like you just have been feeling like, okay, there are various things that are holding you back, even if it's your own thoughts. You're feeling like, you don't quite know or, that you will fail. And, of course, and as you know, she encouraged you to, hey, sometimes if you know that you need help, get help. But if it's things that you know that you can do, go ahead and do that. But if there are things that you need to work on, go ahead and work on those things. But the most important thing is do not be afraid to walk in the trueness that's you, to make sure that you're staying true to what it is you're supposed to do, as well as to where you're honest with yourself enough to where if you need help, you go out and you get that help. Trish, let me ask you, of all of the places and all of the people and all of the things that you've seen, encountered, heard about, what is the one thing that you want to be sure that people understand is possible for them, whether or not they already know it or whether or not you've already mentioned it? What is that one thing that you want to be sure that people know is a possibility in this world?
I would say that, it might seem like people are discovered and cultivated and just are perfect from the start and have talent and just run onto the stage, and that's not how it is. As I mentioned with Billy Joel before, but even all the artists, they have to start from somewhere. So I would say I would want everyone to know that even if you think at the moment you don't, have the skills, you can eventually get those skills. And you can, do what you want. It's just that sometimes it takes some practice, and once you get there, you'll be fine. It's just, sometimes you start off and you think you're going to go from 0 to 100, and that's not how anything goes. You have to start, from the basics and then build up, and then you'll be there before you know it.
So true. And now, what is there that you have not had an opportunity to express to the listeners that you would like to be sure to tell them at this time?
I guess I would just want to say that, I hope that you look forward, to the show and my album when it comes out. And, one of the big points of the album is really just trying to talk about, mental health and what isn't already, addressed in the media. People think they sort of stereotype mental illnesses as a certain way. And what my album tries to discuss is sort of what they really are like and how people really do act. I do have 2 psychology degrees, so I would say that I have a pretty good idea of what the mental illnesses are like, and I did try to incorporate that. I literally took the DSM from my friend's father, who's a psychiatrist, and sat down with it and made sure that every song that fit with that DSM standard. So I really tried to make sure that they were as accurate as possible, but also tried to put the emotions in there. So I would say, listen to the songs, for the songs themselves, but also to learn more about all these different mental illnesses because, people think schizophrenia is multiple personality disorder. And to be honest, multiple personality disorder, people don't even think it actually exists. And schizophrenia is completely different.
Right.
So I would say listen to the album in a way if you don't know a lot about mental illness to learn more about it.
Wow. I so thank you so much for what you're doing. There are a lot of people who life is already hard for. And when they have to interact with those of us who are ignorant about the struggles that they are enduring, and because of our ignorance, we make life unintentionally even more difficult for those people. I thank you. And everyone who shares not only information about health struggles that people go through, but anytime anyone is able to enlighten any of us on anything that would help make the life better for any other person, I definitely applaud that. And Trish, I thank you for taking your work to the various levels that you have. Not only have you made it a point to educate yourself about this and to, of course, embark on a career where you're trying to help other people that are struggling in these areas, but you've gone even a step further by adding it to the art and to make sure that part of the legacy that you're leaving and the message that you're sharing beyond this generation will still be trying to protect other people. And I thank you so much and I thank your agency that's helping you out. I'm thankful to your fans, thankful to you for taking out the time to even call in. I'm just thankful for getting to know you, for being able to be introduced to your music, and do know that you have another fan, and we at Articulation Radio look forward to playing your music here. You are welcome back to come at any time that you would like, and I am a true supporter and one additional member of your team who you know for a fact you have in spirit, and we're locked together for life, baby. You keep up the great work you're doing, and keep being a champion for the people who most people overlook, and truly know that the way you are educating people, it is not a wasted method, and it is something that will be able to help people for generations to come.
Well, thank you so much. It's really kind of you to say, and I'm so glad that you had me on the show. It was great to speak to you and talk more about the album and the upcoming show, so thank you so much.
Would you like for a motivational speaker to come to your company or organization to speak to your group? Visit lifespurposeministries.com. That's lifespurposeministries.com.
Articulation Radio thanks you so much for listening. So head on over right now to articulationmedia.club and let us know your thoughts on today's episode. In the meantime, we're going to keep the show rolling for you.
Weddings are expensive, but your love is worth it. Go to marryusnow.us to book the Minister of Love to officiate your wedding today. The fee is only $200 if your wedding is in the city of Chicago, and there's only a small fee to get the Minister of Love to travel outside of Chicago to your wedding location. Book the Minister of Love today. Visit marryusnow.us. That's marryusnow.us.
She often comes without a warning. She turns my life into a blur. The things she does are frightening. A different side I've never seen before. Each day I feel her strengthening. She's starting to come a lot more. A different mental state. It's driven. She does the stupid things. She's not who I am. Here's biology. Stop my days from the silent for me. I'm gonna keep control. I'm gonna bring her back. I don't need you to help me. I just need you to understand. She's often the one raging. Nothing she says are not who I am. Impulsive and estranged. She takes hold of me. She's fighting off all her beasts, and she won't listen to me. A different mental state. It's driven. She does disturbing things. She's not who I am. Here's biology. Stop my deeds from the silent for me. I'm gonna keep control. I'm gonna bring her back. She'll try to wreck my life. I'll isolate myself when she'll arrive. 'Cause when she takes over my head, it's like my body's on autopilot. When she's finally gone, I'm left with all the wreckage she's done. Too upset with the past, pushing away who she saw last. A different mental state. It's driven. She does the stupid things. She's not who I am. Curse biology. Stop my days from the silent for me. I'm gonna keep control. I'm gonna bring it up back.
Are you single and seeking a lifestyle club that's centered around you? Go to sittingroom.xyz to register today. Sittingroom.xyz.
Do you frequently shop online and you're looking for a new place to shop? Join the club, jeffersontaylor.club.
Thank you so much for joining us today for this episode of Articulation Radio. There is no other reason why we do this other than you. We hope that you have enjoyed today's episode, that the information you received has been something you can immediately apply, as well as you have enjoyed this great music from independent artists from around the world. We also encourage you, if you have not already gone over to articulationmedia.club, so that you can ensure your music, your ads, as well as your interview is scheduled. Be sure to do that right now. But in the meantime, thank you again for being a listener. But more importantly, be sure that you are a doer. Keep doing whatever it is that you are called to do. Make sure that you let nothing stop you. So in other words, keep making things happen, baby. Articulation. 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 Articulation.